Good morning. Welcome to the Public Safety Building Committee meeting. This meeting is being recorded for cablecast and YouTube presentation by Area 58 Community Access Media. The video of this meeting is not to be considered an official public record. I do want to start by taking a moment to remember our fellow committee member and friend, Bob Carling. Bob served our town on several committees as the electrical inspector and the zoning enforcement officer. He was very helpful to this committee in reviewing the building plans and working toward the best police station for the town. He was also hopeful but disappointed in our failure to provide pizza at our meetings. Bob Carling, his work and his humor will be missed.
Thank you, Colleen.
Okay, we have these invoices as well that were in my mailbox. We'll take a look at that. And these are the reports that you get.
I have to talk to Rob about this one.
Okay.
All right.
Also for you, I don't know if you got this correspondence or not. This is from Columbia Gas. Or
I did not get
from
this.
the town to Columbia Gas.
Oh, to Columbia Gas. Yes, we asked them to write that.
Okay.
I thought you meant from.
No, I haven't gotten a response that I know of.
They asked what they thought the gas route would be. And there's your gas route. That's the gas route. Or at least the proposed gas route right now. Doesn't show the new building, so it's kind of pointless, but looks like it's to the side of the driveway.
Okay, I don't remember getting any minutes. Did we get minutes? Good, because
And I'm
that
proud
has
of
been
you.
my failure sometimes, so. That's fine. We do have some, actually, let's start with the overview. This- from you.
He's still pecking away down there. Prisoners are pecking away on the painting. I think you guys all saw where we are. We do have a couple of hiccups. We are not quite ready to release the balance of security. So we're still kind of going through all of that to try and get it within a reasonable budget. The evidence locker cost was like ginormous. And we've got that ordered. And unfortunately, it's going to be 8 to 10 weeks before that locker comes in. We may actually open without the locker, and the locker come in a couple of weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks after we open.
We could
that's
always
the-
arrange for something temporary.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're not going to, our usual lockers, whatever you use today. We're working on a few things we slipped in the budget. Besides the evidence locker and some of the other little doodads that we took out when we were VE in the job, regular lockers for the gear. It's not in the general contractor scope of work. I'll put it in FF&E. We priced up a standard police locker, and it was like $8.2 million per locker, because they had, a lockable gun thing in each one and all that. So we're looking at right now just a regular locker so they can have a change of clothes. And we're gonna see what those cost, because we definitely have enough money for regular lockers. We probably don't have enough money for the super secret police.
You're gonna have to be involved with that to a certain extent.
Yep. It's, they're not the standard size locker. They're a wider and deeper locker. All right, but before we order it, we'll make sure you see the cut sheet, all right? And that's basically it in a nutshell for the update on the building. It's going well. His quality seems to be well. But we're really getting to the point now where we have to start looking at systems, how systems operate. Now that we have permanent power, we can start testing things as they're completed. You know, there's no more temporary this, no more temporary that, it's permanent. We don't want them turning on the HVAC system till the building's clean, so particulates don't get sucked into the return air. But at the same time, you know, we have to test systems at some point in time. So we're looking at trying to coordinate and coagulate all that. He says his flooring is gonna start next week, which is fine. Most of the flooring is vinyl tile. And when they're done with the whole building, they'll, you know, and the painters are all done, they'll just go in and strip it and put a few coats of wax on it. That's how you'll get the building. All right?
Okay, I have another thing here. Our selectman liaison, Mark Russo, had gotten an email from the chair about the vehicle access to the ball fields. And I think you've already, I think, addressed this with Liz. I'm just making the committee aware
Okay.
of it. Basically, that the access to the ball fields had been eliminated. People are aware of that, and they will be added back when appropriate. You're looking puzzled.
I'm not aware of that one. Rob must be aware of that one.
Okay, somebody, you
Yeah.
may have that.
So, I mean, obviously, you can see that we cut down the road to make the road safer. So that some regrading has to occur there. We'll regrade it,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't call it exactly vehicular access, but.
Well,
It'll be as much vehicular access as there was previously.
Right.
Yes.
Which is basically a little stone on grass.
right. So somebody,
Yep,
if it wasn't you, it must have been Rob.
yeah.
Talked
Not a
to
big deal.
Liz about it. No.
Yep.
I just wanted to share
Well,
it.
Liz calls whenever there's an issue. She's pretty good about that.
Yeah. Okay, so we do have some invoices. We have invoice from P3, who, this is 18. You may recall that we did not pay P3 in December. So this is for $10,000 and includes November through the end of the year. So motion to approve this
Motion to approve.
in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we'll sign off on that one. Go ahead.
I have a bill from the contractor. It is for, excuse me, $312,653. It leaves a balance to finish plus retainage of $844,000. So if you went belly up tomorrow, would $844,000 be enough to finish that building? Yeah, more than enough. So, plus his bond, plus his liability, plus everything else. So we're making a recommendation to pay this, and the motion to pay it should be subject to the signature of the architect, because the architect is on vacation and can't sign it, so we have to get Jeff Shaw to sign it on Monday.
Okay,
Okay?
so you got that motion? Somebody wants to?
I'll make a motion that we pay the bill subject to the architect signing off.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We also have a similar situation with Context.
Yeah, Context didn't even give us a bill.
So Rob suggested we approve what has become their standard bill, which is $9,375. Their bookkeeper is on vacation. When she comes back on Monday, she'll get the bill out. I'll sign on it on your approval, and it will be paid. So
I don't think the world will come to an end if you want to wait either. It's up to you.
this came from your guy.
I know, because he's a softie. I'll have a talk with him later.
So it's up to the committee, if you want to go ahead and do that, or if you want to wait and tell them.
I'd move that we pay the bill on the standard amount.
Okay, so a second?
Second.
Okay, so then when this bill comes in this week, I'll sign off as.
Now my committee's a softie.
Okay.
We want videos of the meetings, though. We need to vote on that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We have a motion?
All in favor? All in favor of that motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're good then. I think that's all I have. Do any of you have any questions?
Are you happy? Looks pretty good. I mean, this has been a long road. with a really small budget, and I think you're getting a first-class place, I really do,
Without ballistic glass.
all right? That won't be his last complaint. And it's good that he's retiring, so that we,
Not yet, mister, not yet.
I'm not gonna finish the punch list until after he's gone, just to irritate him.
I have to say, it concerns me too that the glass is just plexiglass.
We'll
It's
get
not
through it, we'll
plexiglass.
work through it, so we'll come
We'll-
up with a solution.
Okay, because that
You
bothers
can
me.
put a cloth up, just a cloth, like a see-through cloth that bullet resistant. I mean, there's 100 ways to solve the problem. But
We'll solve it. Yeah.
All right.
just remember, they can just shoot through any window on the exterior of the building.
That too. We've had discussions about that.
Yeah, I mean,
There is a film available that
there's a
is
film that,
make it resistant, not proof.
right,
Um,
takes 2 or 3 shots for it to go.
Gives you
None
enough
of the
time to run out of the room,
exterior-
Right.
arm yourself.
None of the exterior building, windows are.
No.
built-
It's just like a film.
Like heavy,
It's a
Yeah.
cost issue. I mean,
I'm not sure.
significant cost issue.
it would cost about
Building this-
$400,000 or $500,000 to do all the windows in this building.
And it doesn't include all the walls.
And the windows would not be operable.
Yeah.
If they're ballistic, fully ballistic.
Right, and then if you think about that, when we talk about 3 million, the 3 million includes architect's fees and everything else, so you're really talking about 2
2.4.
million. 2.5, and so you're talking about a 20% increase in the cost of the whole building for,
Well, I wasn't thinking of the extreme. I was thinking of some protection.
well, so that's where we can look at it.
I would argue that you have a lot more protection now than you did before. Because
Absolutely.
you're gonna have a double entry to get in, you know.
We'll work on this.
This isn't gonna be the last complaint. I mean, when the evidence locker comes in, it might not have a feature you wanted, and you might have to add things. I mean, there are things that are definitely gonna need to be happen to this police station. Functions that we can't think of that he's thinking of, and functions that Zell put in that he doesn't need. You know, those types of things are gonna come up as it starts coming together.
I'm already thinking, moving into the building, I have to find a way to pay for the transfer of my telephone system from this building to that building. I have no idea what that'll cost. Other little things that we just have to work through.
Are we still working on a signage?
No, cost for the signage was
What are we doing?
very aggressive on cost. I'm trying to get him to run a conduit down, and we'll deal with it at a later date. Or the town will have to deal with it at a later date. I just cannot take it out of the budget. You know, I gotta get the evidence locker, I gotta get security.
People have.
The security is really
I don't see any signs.
The
there.
budget buster on this has been security. I mean, we were blessed to get that whole building wired for $8,000. That's blessed. But, you know, the endpoints to do it right and not have to redo it, you know, the cameras have to be heated on the outside, not cheapy ones that you're gonna replace every 3 or 4 years. So we're trying to do it right, and we're doing it, buying the equipment that's modular. So if you put 2 cameras in, but he really wants 6, you know, next year in town meeting, he can get 2 more cameras. The following year, he can get 2 more cameras, that type of thing.
Timing's right. When we think about the signage, I think the important piece is to have conduit down there.
Yeah.
So that, you know, you have the power, because putting up a sign shouldn't be enormous. You know, you put up a piece of granite in Plimpton Police Department
Oh,
on
the-
there. You're not talking about huge money, and it's also, we're coming up to the time of the town meeting. And, you know, to put a sign on the finished building is. I don't think
Well,
it's gonna be
the other thing is, believe it or not, today, you might not even have to run the conduit. Because
Solar.
you put a little solar square to the right of the thing, and it'll power the light all night long. So, I mean, there are different ways to solve the problem, but the way it was designed and the cost we got, we made an immediate decision to say no. It was like $12,000 or some ridiculous amount of money. I just don't have it. It was either that or he has no card access or keys and can't get in his
No,
building.
I don't think that's a fine decision, and I'll reach out to Mark about it, because I know the selectmen want some say and want to try and
Yeah, they're working on the plan for the center here.
Okay.
So
So
that's
that's-
something that can be sort of pushed up so that,
I have had people come to me that have said to me, they come down Main Street and then they go down Main Street and not on Palmer Road. And so they don't see the building. People have said to me, where is it? I don't see it.
Right.
They turn before they see it. And I just think that in an emergency, somebody needs to know that there's a police station here. When, you know. when-
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
in fairness, when the driveway's done and the building's lit up,
I'm sure-
it'll be different than it is today.
right.
So, I mean, it is hard to see coming this way.
Yeah, because you
Definitely
turn
not
before
hard.
you actually see it.
Definitely not hard to see coming this way,
Right.
but, you know.
There's one other item too we ought to think about, is talking up the fact that this did not affect our taxes.
Oh, yes.
For anything that we come up with now, these little extras,
Right.
they should be willing to kick in the little extras, knowing that that station out there didn't cost them a dime.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
It
a
was
good
paid.
point.
And the reason I say this, I have people come into the transfer station that are now seeing it,
Yeah.
and their remark is, what's it costing?
yeah.
The people that didn't go to the town meeting, or people that didn't read the publications.
Right. That's a
there's
good
lot of them out
point.
there.
It's a very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, has anybody heard from Jake
Uh,
that was on this committee?
Yeah,
I'd be curious of what he thinks of the station.
I've seen him, he hasn't commented at
No?
all. No.
He was kind of super critical about everything we were doing in the beginning, so I was kind of curious on what he thought.
Like his bumper sticker says, I'm not argumentative, I'm finished.
Okay, so for our next meeting, do we want another Saturday meeting, or do we want to go back to Wednesday night?
We can go to a Wednesday night now that we have lights, so there's no need to, you know, the only reason I wanted to do Saturdays because we didn't have permanent power, I didn't want you to get hurt.
Okay, so the next meeting would be February 6th.
By then, I'll have a complete, security budget. And should be pretty much to the end of changes, and we'll know pretty much what we have and how we're gonna fare.
Okay,
Dan, we're still on pace to be finished in March.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna be finished sometime in March.
Very good.
All right, unless something catastrophic happens with the startup of HVAC or fire alarm. Oh, there's one item we have to talk about. I apologize. The fire chief has asked for 6 smoke detectors in the building. The designer says the 6 smoke detectors are above and beyond the building code. And, I'm sorry, it's 4 smoke detectors for $6,000 added to the fire system. I have not approved it. Normally, I automatically approve public safety. But we meet the building code with how it's designed today, and I think that's something that you guys are gonna have to decide what you wanna do on that.
So it's an addition of 4 smoke
An
detectors
addition of 4 smoke
for
detectors.
$6,000. I think that needs to be pushed back up to the selectmen. You know, I mean, it's.
And I don't mind coming to the selectmen and explaining it to the selectmen if you want me to do that.
okay.
All right.
so-
Is it, would the fire chief hold up occupation of the building? If we do not do the 4 smoke detectors he's requesting?
I guess technically he has to sign off on the fire alarm
That's
system.
my question, is.
I mean, technically, but I mean, I don't see how, I mean, we could appeal to the state fire marshal because we clearly meet the code.
Did you give a reason why he's going above what the code requires?
Does he want us?
Came from Zell, I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Well, the fire department's trying to do the best they can.
That's
It's
the
a wood
cost-
frame building,
That's the cost of our ballistic windows, though,
Right.
right there.
right?
You know?
The fire department's always trying to do the right thing. But you know and I know, the fire department will put a fire truck in every room if they could. You know, they would. It's just the nature of fire departments. They know that everything that they do is related to time, and that every 30 seconds a fire doubles, and, you know, they have all these little rules, so they're trying to cut that time down. Sometimes,
Fairness, they're right there. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think the real point is that it's $6,000, and that's actually a fair amount of money for our budget at this point, and so we need to have that discussion at the right level.
I don't have a problem going in and talking to the Board of Selectmen on your behalf, with or without you. I have not personally talked to the fire chief about it. This came directly from Zell. In a memo to the team saying, oh, by the way, the fire chief is just requested 4 smoke detectors.
do
So
you
we
want-
went and priced it out, you know, we follow protocol, and like every other PCO, priced it out.
Maybe.
We looked at the price, it's not that bad. I mean, it's probably worth 5,800, but we got the typical little gouge by the electrical file sub bidder. But it's not required is the problem. It's not a requirement from the code.
Should we try to convene a meeting with yourself, the fire chief, myself, and maybe say, I don't know, the town administrator? Just
Yeah,
get everyone in the
probably
same
before we
room and
go,
discuss
before,
that.
yeah, before we go before the selectmen, I think that would be a good idea.
So I will send an email to Liz and have her,
Coagulated, right?
Coagulated.
Coagulated.
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but at this point, we're at the end of the budget.
It's a lot. I'm gonna tell you something, every dollar's a lot right now.
So that's why I just think we need to have the discussions so we're clear about what is and isn't, and is there another solution that
Did you see the cost of Acushnet police station? It was like 8 million. I mean,
how big?
1.5 times. I mean, it's crazy out there right now, crazy numbers. MSBA's got schools going in at $600 a square foot. It's just out of control. You know, we really, by pushing everybody like we did, we really missed that jump up that occurred right after the 2018 election,
We saw it in-
16
saw it
election.
In the bids we got in.
Yeah,
I mean, there was this bid, and then the next one was too
Yeah.
expensive, and the one after that was just,
out of control. And we're lucky he needed the job of this size
Yeah.
to get to the next level.
So, yeah, that's kind of the way it works, is you have to kind of
He-
scale up.
See you later.
Every year he gets reviewed at what his limit is. His limit was 50,000 more than his bid. So if his bid came in at 2.6 instead of 2.4, he wouldn't have been allowed to bid it. He would be disqualified as being non-responsive. But next year, that 2.4 becomes 1.5 times 2.4, so he's now up to 3.6. It's an interesting system.
I think the logic behind it is sound, that you gotta prove that you can
Right,
progress through the,
okay.
All right,
so
sounds
Any
good.
other questions, any other?
everybody, any problems, just send me an email. Anybody unhappy, send me an email. Anybody happy, send me an email. It's okay to say, hey, Dan, I'm happy.
Dan, just one last thing. I talked, when Zell was in the other day, we walked through the building. I mentioned this to some committee members before your arrival this morning. Outside corners in the building, like this. Police stations, guys wear guns, they wear radios in their belt. They will beat the heck out of those corners.
Well, we can look at getting some plastic corner guards.
Yeah,
They're not that expensive,
Zell, I just wanted to mention it to you.
especially in the big 4 corners.
Right.
Where we're going around the block,
Exactly.
so I'll look into that.
I think we'd want that, if we wanted to match
They-
paint.
Yeah,
Again,
I'll ask Zal to come up with a product for it, or a piece of stainless or something.
He did, he said stainless, I'll forward the email that he sent to
Okay.
me, to you.
and this is in the inside hallways?
Yeah.
Not-
Yeah,
Not where you have the outside corners and the inside.
Yeah, I think.
He's
most-
absolutely right.
Yeah.
It will get beat up. Those corner beads will end up coming
They
off.
get beat up in a regular house. and
Right.
where the guns are at.
Yeah.
I thought everyone in Plimpton had a gun. That's the rumor in the county, just saying.
safely locked away.
At least one.
Proudly displaying their Second Amendment rights.
So, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second? All right, we're good
All right,
then.
sounds good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See y'all later.
Thank you.
I'll bring these to Anna.